Hello, everyone, and welcome to Feel Learns English. I'm very happy to have you here today. If you enjoy learning English and want to improve a little every day, please remember to subscribe. This channel is here to help you practice English in a calm and friendly way. Hello, my friends. It truly makes me happy to see you again. Every time you choose to listen and learn with me, I feel thankful. You could be doing many other things right now. Maybe you are working, spending time with your family, watching videos online, or just relaxing. But you chose to be here. You chose to learn something new. That choice is important. It shows that you care about yourself. It shows that you want to grow, improve, and become better. That is why this moment is special. Today, I want to talk about something that is part of everyone's life. It does not matter where you live, how old you are, or what you do for work. We all share the same thing. That thing is time. Time is very interesting and sometimes a little strange. We cannot stop time. We cannot control it. Time always moves forward. It never waits for anyone. It does not ask if we are ready. It just keeps going. Sometimes time feels like a good friend. It gives us new days, new chances, and new opportunities. Each morning is a fresh start. But other times, time feels like a thief. It takes our days and chances without us even noticing. Have you ever looked back and thought, wow, that year went by so fast? Maybe at the start of the year you told yourself, this year I will exercise more, or this year I will practice English every day. But then the year ended and nothing really changed. I remember a friend of mine. He always said he wanted to learn how to play the guitar. Every time I asked him about it, he smiled and said, one day when work is not so busy, one day when life is calmer. But life never became calmer. Work stayed busy, responsibilities became bigger, weeks turned into months, months turned into years. Now, when he looks back, he feels sad. He wishes he had started earlier. He waited for the right moment, but the right moment never came. This story teaches us something important. Time keeps moving no matter what. If we keep waiting for the perfect time, we may lose many chances. So what should we do? We should use the time we have now. We should start today, not tomorrow, not someday. Every small step matters. Even if you practice English for just a few minutes a day, you will improve over time. Even small effort brings big results when time passes. Think of time like a river. The river flows forward, and we are like boats on that river. We cannot stop the river, but we can choose how to move our boat. We can choose to move with purpose, or we can let the river carry us without direction. Time is a gift. Every day is a new chance to learn, to grow, and to become better. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because perfect moments are very rare. Use the time you have now to do something good for yourself. Thank you for spending these minutes with me today. I am truly happy you are here. I believe you can do great things. Remember this, time will pass whether we start or not. The real question is, what will we do while time is passing? Imagine yourself 1 year from today. That future version of you will exist no matter what. When that day comes, will you feel proud that you started something today, even if it was small, or will you feel sad because you waited? Start now. Take the first step today. Failure helps us learn and grow, but regret only hurts. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you next time, my friend. Life never stops and says, now everything is perfect. Now you can start. No, life keeps moving forward every single day, whether we take action or not. How many times have you told yourself, I will start tomorrow? Then tomorrow comes and you say the same thing again. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And before you know it, a whole year has passed and you are still waiting. This is the power of time. Time keeps going no matter what. It does not care if we are ready or not. But the good news is this: you can change your decision. You can choose to start now. Even if your first step is very small, it still matters. Every small step adds up. Small actions done every day become big results over time. Now, imagine yourself 1 year from today. If you start today, you will feel proud. You will feel happy because you will see progress. You will see growth. But if you wait and do nothing, you may feel regret. And regret is a heavy feeling to carry. So don't wait. Use the time you have right now. Do not wait for the perfect moment because it probably will never come. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Time is a gift, but it keeps moving forward. How you use it is your choice. Thank you for spending this time with me. I believe in you. You can do great things if you just begin. The truth is, we all get the same 24 hours each day. What we do with those hours is up to us. That choice is always ours. So, my friend, remember this simple message. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Even small steps matter. Even 5 minutes of effort can make a difference. Time will pass whether we use it or not. The real question is this: will you let time pass while doing nothing, or will you fill that time with learning, growth, and action? This happens to all of us. It's part of being human. We often tell ourselves stories about our future selves. We think the future version of us will be braver, stronger, more motivated, and have more time. We believe tomorrow will be easier. But here is the truth. The only time we truly have is right now. There is a simple English saying I really like: time flies. Just 2 short words, but they say a lot. Time moves fast. It never stops. Once it's gone, we can't get it back. There is another expression, in the blink of an eye. It means something happens very fast. A blink lasts less than a second, and that is how quickly a year can feel. One day, you're starting a new year with big dreams and big plans. Then suddenly, it feels like you blinked and the year is already over. You ask yourself, where did all that time go? Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone who really wants to learn English. They think about it often. They talk about it. They dream about speaking fluently, but they keep waiting. They wait for the perfect course. They wait for more free time. They wait until life feels easier. But while they wait, time keeps moving. A year passes and they still haven't started. The dream is still just a dream. Now imagine another person. This person does not wait. They start even when it feels hard. Maybe they only practice for 10 minutes a day. Maybe their English is not very good at first, but they keep going. 1 year later, this person feels proud. They are not perfect, but they are much better than before. They can see real progress. This is the difference that starting makes. So start today. Even 5 minutes is enough. Read something short. Listen to English. Practice a few sentences. Small actions build habits, and habits create change. Time will pass anyway. Make sure it passes with progress. Keep moving forward, even in small steps. Your future self will thank you. They feel real progress. They see real change. They didn't just think about their dream, they took action. So, what is the difference between these two people? It is not about intelligence. It is not about talent. It is not about luck. The only difference is this: one person waited and the other person started. Deep inside, many of us are waiting for a sign from life. We hope for a big signal that says, now you are ready. Now is the perfect time. Go ahead. But life doesn't work that way. Most of the time, there is no perfect moment. There is no magic sign. If you wait for life to become easier, if you wait for more time, more energy, or more motivation, you might wait forever. While we hesitate, time does not hesitate. While we pause, time does not pause. The clock keeps moving. The seconds keep ticking, slowly but surely. When I look back at my own life, I can see this clearly. There were times when I waited too long. I told myself, not yet, maybe later. But later never came. Those opportunities disappeared. Maybe you have felt this too. Maybe you have looked back and thought, I lost that chance because I didn't act. But I also remember other moments, times when I didn't wait, times when I took action even though I didn't feel ready. I wasn't sure what would happen, but I moved forward anyway. And surprisingly, many of those moments worked out. Those brave steps brought me closer to my goals. Sometimes taking action creates the right conditions we were waiting for. When we begin, we often find strength we didn't know we had. We see opportunities we couldn't see before. The path becomes clearer after the first step. So don't wait until you feel 100% ready. That day may never come. Time will keep moving forward whether you act or not. Be the person who starts now, even if it's small, even if it's messy. Progress always begins with action. Let me ask you a simple question. What are you waiting for right now? Are you saying, I'll start studying seriously next month? Are you thinking, I'll apply for that job later, or I'll start my dream when life is calmer? But what if that moment never comes? What if 1 year passes and you are still waiting? Time will pass anyway. That is the weight of time. It moves fast. It doesn't stop. It slips away in the blink of an eye. The only way to make time feel lighter is to use it well. Start now. Even if your beginning is small, even if it is not perfect, today is here. Today is possible. Now, there is something important we must accept. When you take action, sometimes you will fail. That is part of life. It happens to everyone. But failure is not your enemy. Failure can hurt. It can feel disappointing, but failure is easier to carry than regret. Failure stays for a moment. Regret can stay for years. Failure says, try again. Regret whispers, what if? Think about a simple example. Imagine you study hard for an important exam. You try your best, but you don't pass. Of course, that feels bad. But even in failure, you gain something. You learn what you need to improve. You gain experience. Next time, you're stronger. Now imagine someone else. This person is afraid of failing, so they never take the exam. They wait, and instead of learning a lesson, they carry regret. They keep asking themselves, what if I had tried? What could have happened? What opportunities did I miss? That quiet voice asking, what if, is the sound of regret. Regret is heavy. It doesn't help you grow. It only pulls you down. It fills your heart with dreams that never became real. It fills your mind with stories that never happened. Let's look at a simple example that many people understand. Imagine someone who really likes another person. They think about asking them out. They imagine the moment again and again, but they are afraid. What if they say no? What if it's embarrassing? What if I get rejected? So they say nothing. Time passes, life moves on. That other person meets someone else. Maybe they even get married. Years later, the first person still wonders, what if I had said something? That feeling is regret. Here is an important truth. Regret lasts much longer than rejection. Rejection is clear. You try, you get an answer. It may hurt, but you can move forward. Regret keeps you stuck. It repeats the same questions in your mind again and again. You get no answers, no peace. There is a powerful English saying, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Think about people you admire, athletes, musicians, writers, business leaders, or even someone who speaks English fluently. Every one of them has failed many times. They made mistakes. They felt embarrassed. They wanted to quit, but they didn't. They learned. They adjusted. They grew stronger. That's how success is built, step by step, mistake by mistake, lesson by lesson. Failure teaches you. It shows you what to improve. It pushes you forward. Regret does the opposite. Regret keeps you still. It traps you in the past, wishing and wondering. I once heard a story from a nurse who worked with people at the end of their lives. She said the most common regret was not failure. It was the chances they never took. People said things like, "I wish I had followed my dream. I wish I had spoken up. I wish I had been braver." Those words are full of regret, not because they failed, but because they never tried. So remember this. It is okay to fail. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to feel unsure. What is not okay is letting fear steal your time. Take the chance, say the words, start the journey. Even if you fail, you will grow. But if you never try, you will never know. Now let's talk about something important: barriers. When we stop ourselves from taking action, learning a new skill, starting a project, changing our life, it's not because we don't care. Most of the time, we care deeply. The real reason is barriers, but these barriers are not physical. They are not locked doors or heavy chains. They are invisible. They live inside our minds. They are mental and emotional. One of the biggest barriers is the fear of judgment. How many times have you wanted to try something new but stopped because you were afraid of what others might think? Maybe you wanted to practice speaking English out loud but stayed quiet because you were afraid of making mistakes. Maybe you wanted to share something creative but held back because of fear. These invisible barriers feel powerful, but they can be broken one small step at a time. And it always starts the same way, by beginning today. Maybe you want to share your writing, your singing, or your artwork, but inside your mind, you imagine people laughing or criticizing you. That fear of judgment can feel very real. It can feel heavy. It can even stop you from moving at all. But here's the truth. Most people are too busy with their own lives to spend much time judging yours. Everyone has their own worries, problems, and dreams. The people you are afraid of are usually just trying to get through their own day. And even if some people do judge you, their opinions do not define you. Their words do not decide your value. Still, the fear of judgment keeps many of us silent, stuck, wishing we had been a little braver. Another invisible barrier is self-doubt. That quiet voice in your head says things like, "You're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You'll probably fail." Self-doubt is sneaky. It makes you forget your strengths. It makes you ignore how far you have already come. Remember this, that voice is not always telling the truth. Most of the time, it is just fear wearing a different mask. It pretends to protect you, but really, it is holding you back. So what do we do with fear of judgment and self-doubt? We don't need to destroy them all at once. We don't need to become fearless overnight. We only need to take one small step forward, even while feeling afraid. When you take that first step, fear begins to shrink. You start to realize, I can do this. Slowly, confidence grows, courage gets stronger, and those invisible barriers begin to fade. If you are waiting for fear to disappear before you start, don't. If you are waiting for perfect confidence, it may never come. Confidence is built by action, not waiting. Self-doubt can be cruel. It says, other people are smarter, other people are more talented, you shouldn't even try. Sadly, many of us believe that voice. We let it control our choices. We let it keep us small. But ask yourself this, how can you know what you're capable of if you never try? Self-doubt builds a cage around your potential. The only way to break out is by taking action, one small step at a time. Another barrier many people face is perfectionism. Perfectionism says, if it's not perfect, don't do it. It tells you to wait until everything is flawless. So you wait, you edit, you delay. and sometimes you never begin. Perfectionism may look like high standards, but often it is just fear in disguise. Progress is more important than perfection. There is a popular saying, done is better than perfect. Every imperfect try, every small mistake moves you forward, but waiting for perfection keeps you stuck. Now let's talk about another big barrier, waiting for motivation. Many people believe they must feel motivated before they start, but motivation is not reliable. It comes and goes like the weather. What really creates progress is consistency. Consistency means showing up even when you don't feel like it. You brush your teeth every day, not because you feel inspired, but because it matters. Success works the same way. Small actions repeated again and again create big change. Motivation comes and goes, but action creates results. So remember this. Don't wait to feel perfect. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for motivation. Just begin. One small step today is better than waiting for the perfect moment that may never come. Sometimes we tell ourselves we don't feel like doing something, but here is something surprising. Motivation often comes after you begin, not before. Think about this. Have you ever said, I don't feel like exercising today, but then you put on your shoes, start moving, and suddenly you feel better. You feel more awake, more focused, more motivated. Why does this happen? Because action creates motivation, movement creates energy. But many people do the opposite. They wait. They hope motivation will magically appear. They wait for the right mood, the right moment, the right feeling. And while they wait, time keeps moving. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. One day, they look back and realize how much time they lost, not because they didn't care, but because they were waiting for a feeling that never came. So let me ask you honestly, what is stopping you from starting? Is it fear of judgment? Is it self-doubt? Is it perfectionism? Or are you waiting to feel motivated? Take a moment. Be honest with yourself. What is one thing you have wanted to do for a long time but haven't started yet? And what is the real reason? Here is the good news. These barriers are normal. They are part of being human. You are not weak. You are not broken. Almost everyone feels fear, doubt, and hesitation. The difference between people who move forward and people who stay stuck is not that one group has no fear. The difference is the choice they make. People who grow choose to act even with fear, even with doubt, even without motivation. Courage does not mean being fearless. Courage means taking action while you are afraid. Next time you feel stuck, ask yourself, is this barrier real or is it just in my mind? Most of the time, it is not the world holding you back. It is your thoughts. And here is something powerful. Thoughts can change. Habits can be broken. You are not trapped. You can rewrite your story. You can begin right now exactly where you are. Let me share something personal. Sometimes real stories are more powerful than advice. A few years ago, I decided I wanted to learn Spanish. I love languages, and I thought learning Spanish would help me connect with more people. But for years, I made excuses. I'll start later. I'll sign up someday. Life is too busy. Then one day, I stopped waiting. I bought a simple beginner book, I downloaded a free app, and I promised myself I would practice just a few minutes a day. The beginning was messy. My pronunciation was terrible. I forgot words again and again. I felt uncomfortable and slow, but slowly I improved. I understood more. I spoke more. Step by step, I moved forward. The biggest lesson was not just learning Spanish. It was learning that starting imperfectly is better than waiting perfectly. This lesson applies to everything in life. You may know the story of Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. He didn't build his famous business until his 60s. Before that, his life was full of failures. He tried many jobs. Most people would have given up, but he didn't. He took his recipe and traveled from place to place. He was rejected more than 1,000 times, but he kept going. One person finally said yes, and the rest is history. If he had waited or given up, the world would be very different. Stories like this remind us of one simple truth. Action is more powerful than waiting every single time. And the best time to act is now. Time keeps moving forward. It doesn't matter if you are young, middle-aged, or older. The clock never stops. But here's the beautiful truth. As long as you are alive, it is never too late to begin. You may never be perfect, and that's okay. None of us are. But you can make progress, and progress, step by step, has the power to completely change your life. Sometimes I ask myself a simple but powerful question. 10 years from now, what will I wish I had started today? When I think about this, I understand something important. My future self depends on the choices I make right now. The gift I can give my future self is action. The burden I can give my future self is regret. And only I can choose which one it will be. Now let me ask you, what about you? Maybe for you it is English. You want to speak more, but you stay quiet because you are afraid of making mistakes. Or maybe you want to take an exam, apply for a job, start a project, or move to another country, but you keep waiting for the perfect moment. Let these stories remind you of one truth. There is no perfect time. There is only today. There is a saying that fits perfectly here. Progress, not perfection. Progress means moving forward even with small and imperfect steps. It means learning little by little. Perfection, on the other hand, often becomes a trap. It keeps us waiting. It keeps us afraid. It keeps us stuck. Think about how a baby learns to walk. The baby does not walk perfectly. The baby wobbles. The baby falls. The baby takes shaky steps. But everyone smiles and celebrates. No one says, "Come back when you can run perfectly." Those small, unsteady steps are how walking begins. Now imagine if a baby said, "I won't try until I can walk perfectly." That baby would never move at all. It sounds silly, right? But many adults do the same thing. We say, "I'll speak English when my grammar is perfect. I'll share my work when it's flawless. I'll start when I'm ready to be great." Waiting for perfection becomes an excuse for never starting. And if we never start, we never grow. So remember this, done is better than perfect. Take the imperfect step today. Progress, no matter how small, always moves you forward. You don't have to be great when you start, but you must start to become great. This is true in every part of life. Musicians did not begin by playing perfectly. Writers did not write perfect sentences at the beginning. People who speak English fluently today once struggled with pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. No one starts as an expert. Greatness comes later, after practice, mistakes, and trying again and again. Here is another important secret. Consistency is more powerful than perfection. When you do small things regularly, big change happens over time. Imagine reading just 2 pages in English every day. 2 pages feels very small, but in 1 year, that is more than 700 pages. That is several full books. Or imagine speaking English for just 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes feels like nothing, but in 1 month, that is 5 hours. In 1 year, that is 60 hours of real speaking practice. That is real progress. It may not be perfect, but it is powerful. Now ask yourself, do you stay quiet because you are afraid of making mistakes? Do you stop yourself because you want everything to sound perfect? What if you changed your thinking? What if every mistake became a small step forward instead of a step backward? Every time you speak, even with mistakes, you are training your brain, your mouth, and your confidence. Fluency does not come from silence, it comes from practice. I have seen students who are afraid of mistakes, so they almost never speak. They can write well, but when it's time to talk, they freeze. And I have seen other students who make many mistakes but keep speaking, laughing, and learning. Those students improve faster because they understand one thing: it is okay to be imperfect. Progress comes from trying, confidence comes from action, and change begins the moment you decide to start. Every small effort matters. Nothing you do is wasted. The most important thing is to keep going. Speak a little every day. Try, make mistakes, learn from them. Slowly, step by step, you will improve. Being consistent, even with very small actions, will take you much further than waiting for everything to be perfect. Some students work hard, but when they make mistakes, they stop. Other students make mistakes too, but they keep going. They do not give up. Which group improves faster? Of course, the second group. These students focus on progress, not perfection. They are okay with sounding imperfect today because they know it will help them sound better tomorrow. This is an important change in mindset. Instead of asking yourself, "Is this perfect?" start asking, "Am I moving forward?" Perfection is like a finish line that never really exists. You can chase it forever and never reach it. But progress is real. Progress is a path you can walk every day. Every small step you take today makes tomorrow easier. You make mistakes, you fix them, you learn something new, and then you continue. One day, when you look back, you will be surprised by how far you have come. Remember this: done is better than perfect. And never forget, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to become great. Let these words guide you not only in learning English, but in everything you have been waiting to do in your life. Start small. Keep going every day. Trust that progress, not perfection, is what helps you grow, succeed, and build confidence. Now let's slow down for a moment and think about you. We talked about time moving forward. We talked about how regret is heavier than failure. We talked about barriers, fear, and perfectionism. Now this moment is for you, not to judge yourself, not to feel bad, but to think clearly and choose. If you can, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine that you start today. Where could you be in 1 year? Think about your English learning or any dream that is close to your heart. Maybe you want to pass an exam. Maybe you want to speak English comfortably with friends. Maybe you want to finish a project, apply for a job, or take a new step in life. Now picture yourself 12 months from now. What is different? How do you speak? How do you walk? How do you think about yourself? Small steps every day add up. Where could those steps take you? Now ask yourself honestly and gently, what is one small thing I can do today to move forward? It can be very simple: reading one page, writing one sentence, speaking for a few minutes. The action does not need to be big. The most important thing is to begin. Every small step builds a habit. Every habit builds confidence. Every action brings you closer to your goal. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It may never come. The perfect moment is now. Your future self will thank you for starting today. Imagine looking back 1 year from now, feeling proud because you chose to begin. So ask yourself again, what will you do today to move forward? The choice is yours. Now let's ask one more honest question. What has really been stopping you? Many people say, "I don't have enough time," or "I'll wait for the right moment," or "I'm afraid of failing." But if you look closely, is it really time, or is it a habit of waiting? Is it perfectionism, or fear of starting small and making mistakes? Try to notice that voice inside your head that gives you reasons not to begin. Give that voice a name. When you name it, you can see it clearly, and when you see it clearly, it loses its power. Now ask yourself one simple question. If not now, when? Time does not stop. It moves forward like a river that never pauses. 1 year from now will come whether you are ready or not. When that day arrives, will you be closer to your goals or will you still be wishing you had started? Remember, reflection is not about blaming yourself. It is about awareness. It is about seeing where you are and choosing one brave small step forward. Think about how you feel after you try something new. Even if you feel nervous at first, how do you feel afterward? Usually you feel lighter, stronger, more alive. Now think about the heavy feeling that comes when you say, maybe tomorrow. That feeling can sit inside you like a weight. Which feeling do you want? The energy of trying or the heaviness of regret? Here is a gentle challenge for you. Choose one small action today. Make it tiny, make it real. For example, practice English for 10 minutes. Write one short paragraph. Send one message in English. Open a book or app and do one short exercise. Read 2 pages with a timer set for 5 minutes. Reflection without action becomes only a dream. But reflection plus one small action becomes real change. Take a deep breath now. Let these thoughts stay with you. You do not need all the answers today. Some answers grow slowly, like a seed in the ground. Just remember this: progress is what truly counts, and every small step you take today matters more than you think. Let these questions warm your thoughts and gently guide your next small step. Use this moment wisely. The first step is often the hardest part of any journey. Many people keep their dreams locked inside their hearts, waiting for the perfect time or the perfect feeling. But the truth is simple. The perfect time almost never comes. The perfect feeling may never arrive. What truly matters is starting, even if it feels small, even if it feels scary, even if it feels imperfect. Every big journey in life begins with one small step. You don't need to run, you don't need to rush, you just need to start walking. Each small step moves you forward. Each small action builds confidence. Each day you show up, you get closer to your goal. So ask yourself gently, what will your one small step be today? It could be as simple as opening a book. It could be saying a few words out loud. It could be practicing for just 2 or 5 minutes. The important thing is not how big the step is. The important thing is that you begin. Start now, because the future version of you is waiting to thank you for it. Many people have big dreams and strong goals, but they keep telling themselves, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll begin when I feel ready. But here is the honest truth. There is no perfect time to start. Waiting for the right moment usually only delays progress. Real growth and real change come from having the courage to take one small step today. That step does not need to be big. It does not need to impress anyone. It does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be real. Because once you start, something powerful happens. Momentum begins to grow. And when momentum grows, things that once felt impossible slowly begin to feel possible. Think about learning English. Many learners wait until they feel ready before they speak. They say things like, I'll speak when my grammar is perfect, or I'll join a conversation when I know more words. But if you wait like this, you never get the practice you need, and without practice, improvement never comes. Waiting for perfection is like waiting for a train that never arrives. Instead of waiting, try something simple. Set a very small goal. For example, say just one English sentence to yourself every morning. Only one sentence, that's all. It may feel too small to matter, but over time, it makes a big difference. After 1 week, you feel more comfortable. After 1 month, you feel more confident. After 1 year, you look back and realize how much you've grown, all because of one small, brave step repeated every day. Taking the first step also means accepting mistakes. You might say a word wrong. You might forget what you wanted to say. You might feel awkward or nervous. That is completely okay. Every mistake teaches you something. Every mistake moves you forward. There is a phrase I really like: fall forward, not backward. It means that even when you make mistakes, you are still moving ahead. Waiting does not help you grow. Waiting only creates regret. This lesson is not only about learning English, it applies to many areas of life. Starting a new job, learning a new skill, trying something unfamiliar. Waiting for the perfect moment often stops us. Starting imperfectly and moving forward is what creates change. So today, choose to take one small step. It may feel uncomfortable or scary, but it is the only way to grow. Progress comes from action, not from waiting, and every small action adds up over time. This idea applies to every dream you have, whether you want to start a business, write a book, improve your English, or learn something new. Taking one imperfect step today will teach you more than waiting months for everything to be perfect. Think of it like planting a seed. If you keep the seed in your hand and say, "I'll plant it when the soil is perfect," or "I'll wait for the right season," that seed will never grow. It will stay in your hand forever. But if you plant the seed today, even in ordinary soil, something begins to happen. Quietly and slowly, roots start growing underground. One day, a small green shoot appears. Over time, it becomes a strong plant. Your dreams are like that seed. They need action to grow. And action always begins with one small step. So ask yourself again, what is one small step I can take today toward my dream? Maybe it's writing your goal on paper. Maybe it's recording yourself speaking English for 2 minutes. Maybe it's sending one short message to practice. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just take the step. Remember this: progress comes from doing something regularly, not from being perfect. Small actions done every day lead to big changes over time. At the heart of every success is bravery. The bravery to start even when you feel unsure. The bravery to speak even when you feel afraid. The bravery to keep going even when you are afraid of making mistakes. The bravery to try again even when success feels far away. Real change happens in these small, brave moments. Every small action you take is like an investment in your future self. The person you will be 1 year from now will quietly thank you for the courage you showed today. So take that first step, plant that seed, speak that sentence, fall forward, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving ahead, because once you begin, the journey has already started, and that beginning is the most important victory of all. As we come to the end of this part, let's pause and think about what we've learned together. Time moves forward no matter what we do. It flows like a river that never stops. Whether we take action or wait, time continues to pass. Sometimes it passes so quietly that we don't even notice how much has gone by. This is why waiting for the perfect moment is risky. That moment may never arrive. We talked about regret and failure, and here is an important truth. Regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches you something. Regret only leaves questions. It is better to try and fail than to do nothing and spend years wondering, what if I had tried? Even a very small step today is better than waiting for a perfect time that may never come. There are many invisible things that hold us back. Fear of what other people think, doubting ourselves, wanting everything to be perfect, waiting to feel motivated. The good news is this: the moment you notice these barriers, you have already started to weaken them. The most important idea we shared is simple. Progress matters more than perfection. It is better to finish something imperfectly than to never start at all. You do not have to be great before you begin. You must begin in order to become great. Thank you for spending this time with me. Choosing to listen, reflect, and think deeply is not a small thing. Learning and improving yourself is not always easy, but here you are, showing up for yourself. That matters. And I want you to know something. I am proud of you. Before we finish, I want to leave you with one final challenge. Think about everything we talked about. Then ask yourself one simple question. What is one small thing I will start today? It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe it's saying one sentence in English. Maybe it's writing a short paragraph. Maybe it's sending a message you've been avoiding. Maybe it's taking a tiny step toward a dream you've been carrying quietly. Whatever it is, don't wait. Start now. Take that first imperfect action. Time will pass whether you act or not, and the regret of not starting is always heavier than the pain of trying. Remember this: every step matters. Every word you practice matters. Every effort you make matters. All of it adds up. Your future self will thank you for the courage you showed today. So choose to act. Choose to move forward. Choose to fall forward, not backward. Let your story be about progress, not perfection. Always remember, your life grows through progress, not perfection. Thank you for listening. Thank you for thinking deeply. And most of all, thank you for being brave enough to take steps toward growth. Time will keep moving forward no matter what, so make sure you let it carry you forward, not hold you back.